People who have said no to the barber when they asked if their haircut looked good. What's your story? I asked for a skin fade that tapers into what I have on top. She went down to skin all the way up. Told her this isn't what I asked for. She got snarky and said I needed to be clearer next time. I paid the bill after she shortened the top to better match the now bald sides of my head. I may not know all the names for barber equipment, but I've been getting this haircut for years and literally everyone but her was able to produce what I requested. Had a barber offer a hot towel shave at the end of my haircut because he was trying to kill a few extra minutes before he clocked out without having to take another waiting customer. Barber used a Mach 3 razor and absolutely butchered my face. Halfway through the shave, people just kept staring at me with blood running down my face while the barber was packing some cornstarch bulls***t in the scrapes/cuts. He said, "Wow, you have really sensitive skin," and I replied, "Most skin is sensitive when you ***king remove it with a razor." I just pulled the towel off and walked out of the shop, bloody, half shaved and fully pissed off. My brother thought I got jumped on my way. There was so much blood on my shirt/neck. Best part is I only got the haircut for professional headshots being taken the next day. Yeah, that didn't happen. ***tty parties. Guy was my go-to barber for a few years. Haven't been back since. I didn't say anything cause all my hair was gone. Asked for a 5 all over. She thought I said 0. I wanted a buzz cut. She was not willing to cut off that much hair, assuming I'd be upset and get angry. 7 times she trimmed off a millimeter and asked me if it was okay. I went out, bought myself a pair of clippers, had a buzzed head in about 12 minutes, and have not been back to a barber since. She shaved my sideburns up to about 1.5 inches above my ear. I didn't say anything, just sat there looking pissed. She goes, "It'll look good if you put some gel in it." I went up front to pay, thought about not paying, paid anyway. 4 people got up and left behind me who were waiting. Never again Mr. Cuts. Never again. Edit. I had to wear a beanie for a month during a hot summer in Gap until they grew back. A baseball cap wouldn't cut it. My boss was against me wearing a beanie at work initially until I took it off. Not me, but my dad. Went to get our hair cut before a soccer game back when I was about 12. Got mine first, was fine. Sat down while dad got his hair cut. Cue the barber doing the usual, holding the mirror asking if everything looks good. My dad sits still for a minute quietly and says sternly, "That's the worst ***king haircut I've ever had in my ***king life." Everyone just sat there for what seemed like 10 minutes before we just got up and walked out. Nothing else was said. I was beyond ***king embarrassed, and the haircut seemed like the same ***king haircut my dad had gotten since 1980. No better or worse. Still not sure if he just did it to avoid paying, which would be ***very* likely, but he maintains to this day it was a ***king terrible haircut. I once was in the seat next to a guy who said, "Yeah, it's fine, thank you." When he stood up and turned around, I could clearly see his anger in the reflection of the mirror. I'm someone who hates bangs. They don't look nice on me, and they annoyingly tickle my forehead. Every time I meet my barber, she keeps insisting on giving me bangs, and I always say no, and it clearly pisses her off until one time she accidentally cut a chunk of my front hair and would have to give me bangs to make it look good now. I knew she did it in purpose cause she was playing with my front hair for a bit before suddenly making the cut. That was the last time I went to her. Thankfully my current barber agrees with me that bangs aren't my style. Edit. Holy s***** this blew up. If people must know, I didn't tip her and didn't have to pay the extra time it took to cut the bangs, but it did take me a whole year to finally grow it out and get the style I wanted. When I was a kid, my mom would always take me to the same place to get my hair cut, and I would always end up crying because that lady clearly had no idea what she was doing. I didn't even hold it in until I left the place. I would just tell her that I hated the look and start crying. My mom kept taking me there thinking I was just a stupid kid that would never be happy with their haircut. She was wrong. Now that I've changed several hairdressers, I've been going to the same one for a few years and I really adore her. I wanted my hair cut very short. I keep it short now, clipped #1 on the sides and #2 on top. Back when this happened I think I asked for a #3 clipper on the sides and finger thickness on top, blended to the sides. She picked up the clippers and popped in a #1 blade and went right over the top of my head like a reverse mohawk and then said, "Oops, you wanted a 1 on top, right?" I had to get it #1 all over. This was the day before my friend's wedding that I was going to. I looked like a goon. It was a $5 Vietnamese joint, so expectations were to be tempered, but it was always good enough for me, especially since I'm a dude and I don't need to worry that much about my hair. One time this lady gives me the Junkari cut in Dumb and Dumber, and I was like, yeah, no, how about you just break it up a little in the front, not so straight? She was a good sport about it. I go to a place near my work. It's the standard barber shop staffed by Vietnamese people. I've been going there for years and they are very nice. There is one guy who works there and he is great. I always use him, even if I have to wait. One day I was in a hurry, had no time to wait, so I elected to have one of the girls cut my hair. Well, she didn't do it right and it looked awful. I told her, it's not working. So I had her get the clippers out and told her to shave my entire head at one so I could reset my hair. When I was a young teen, 15 or 16, I had hair down to my belly button. I wanted it cut to my collarbone because my hair is thick and hard to take care of. My normal hairdresser was delayed into our appointment due to one of the dyeing hair things breaking and the other being taken, so I was paired with a different one. This girl couldn't do an even cut. She kept trying, so she kept cutting so one side would be 3+ inches longer than the other. I watched in the mirror in horror, speechless. She eventually sees my face and goes to get my normal hairdresser. My normal hairdresser just gives me a sad look and says she has to even me out and that she was sorry. She had to cut it to my ears. She didn't ask if I like it. She just said I didn't have to pay. My eyes were watering by that point. It was horrible. Never went back. 16 years old and just about to get my DL. Go to the salon to get my hair cut nice for the picture. Instead of feathering my hair, I know I'm dating myself here. The stylist gives me a spiky buzz cut on top. I was so upset I just sat in her chair and cried. Way too short to fix. It was truly awful. Stylist gets offended and starts giving all these excuses. I just paid and left hiding my hair the best I could. For the next couple months I wore out of hats. This only happened to me once. I'm not sure how she did so badly on my hair. It was all weird and uneven, and she missed parts, which is hard to do when you're just getting a classic crew cut. She was super young though, so maybe it was a lack of experience. I politely told her no, this wasn't going to work, but it was going to be okay. I got up, paid and left her a tip. She did her best. Then I drove down the street to another hair place and had someone there fix it. Hopefully she either got better at her job or chose a different career path. I now no longer go to Great Clips or any of those types of quick haircut shops. I go to the same stylist over and over, which is fun because it's like we're having these long conversations with month-long gaps between them. Plus she gives me a beer each time I sit down to get a trim. As a mixed race, half black half white, man, I find that I never like my haircuts. My hair is very curly, but also wavy, so neither white barbers or black barbers know what to do with it. There was only one time I liked my haircut. It was cut by a Latino man. I went back a few months later to get it cut by the same guy to find out that he moved. I started cutting my own hair, and let me tell you, it's impossible to get an even fro when you cut it yourself. I gotta find me a guy. My hair is pretty short, so there's not much to mess up. I get it cut often cause my hair grows thick and I have to maintain it for the military, so I tend to go wherever I can get in quick and cheap. I like it really short on the sides, like if Afro or cut hair, that level of hair to scalp ratio. Just a hint, but the last time I was out of state and stopped by a rinky-dink little barber shop. After I got it cut, the lady flipped me around to look in the mirror. I was facing away, and it looked like almost none was cut off. So I asked her to cut more, and she reluctantly agreed. Once again it was way too long. So finally I just told her just cut it all off, because now I was not only fed up with my thick hair, but my haircut experience. Finished up and left. I still left with it longer than I normally like it. I get my hair cut one day at a school. I get a pretty basic haircut. 5 inches on top, shorter on the sides, off the ears. There is a reason I get it cut at 5 inches on top, much longer than that. It does a weird Bozo the Clown thing, much shorter than that. It just stands straight up. He cut it 1 inch all over my head. I looked like a chia pet. After years of wasting money on horrible to unsatisfactory haircuts, I invested in a good clipper set, watched a few YouTube videos and trim my own hair now. My initial thought was, if I mess it up, at least it won't be paying someone for it, and B, I can always do a crew cut 3 years later. Best $30 investment ever. Went from decent to pretty good at cutting my own hair. Got stabbed in the scalp with the scissors. It got stuck there, and I had to go to hospital to have it surgically removed. Didn't hit anything, thank the gods. Can speak for my mom here. Her old hairdresser literally had a mental breakdown while cutting her hair. He just kept cutting and cutting until my mom started to feel like he was cutting for too long. At the end she had hacks of hair left in random parts of her head. Had to use clips and extensions 4 years after to make it look normal. The same dresser cut a piece of my brother's ear off too. He's a nice guy, just clearly shouldn't be a hairdresser. When I was 16 I went to the hairdressers with a picture of how I wanted it to look. There was a poster of a girl in the window with a cute hairstyle, but not really my thing. But the hairdressers convinced me it would be perfect with my face shape. Be brave and try something new, all that BS. I was awkward and reluctantly agreed. It turned out awful. I don't know if the hairdresser was a trainee or if I just didn't have the right face style after all, but goddamn it was the worst hairstyle I've had since I cut my own hair at age 5. I cried. They didn't offer a discount or anything, just told me it looks great / you'll get used to it, the usual. I never went back, and I've cut my own hair ever since, always looking significantly better than that abysmal job. I was 6. My first day of school was the next week. My grandma was convinced that I should be getting a boy-like cut because that was a thing back in her era. I ended up looking like a boy. I didn't want to. I wanted to have long pretty hair. It took 10 years for it to grow back. If it's a barber I don't know, I always tell them I wanted a little longer in the back just to see their reaction. My father got his hair cut at Great Clips recently, and instead of taking off 1.5 like he asked, they cut his hair to the length of 1. He wore a hat for the next 3 weeks straight. I cried cause it was too short. I got a simple haircut. I'm female. It came out too short. When I show you how long I want my hair, it's the end result on dry hair, not during the haircut on wet hair. But hair grows, so I said I wasn't happy, paid and left. Just went to a different place next time. I'm a dude at Sport Clips now. I only select a stylist to avoid a specific one. BC, no matter what I say she will scalp my bangs and leave me looking like Lloyd Christmas.